welcome or welcome back to Curry Craft. It's been a while. My name is Paula. I am a knitter, probably first a knitter, crocheter, sewer, a general textile crafter, do a bit of cross stitch. And I live in Glasgow in Scotland, and if you have been here before you will notice that things are a bit different for me. The title of the video and the thumbnail will probably have given that away as well, but yes, I do now live in a van. Van life chose me, not the other way about. So if the background or the lighting or the sound, or basically this is just a disclaimer to say that if the video is rotten, it's because of van. It's because I live in a van, people. Yeah, so I was never the best videographer at the best times, so and this is just going to make it worse. So feel free to back out now. There, I've given you a second. But yeah, the light's going to keep changing. I'm parked up. It's about midday. I can't do anything about the lighting. I can't really edit video. I should just stop now. I can't edit the video very well because yeah, I only have limited electricity these days, so it's just going to be a one and done type thing. I will, if I say that I'm going to put a photo in, I will try and do that, but otherwise please just bear with me until I hopefully get things back up and running, because I would like to do more videos. I do a lot of crafting in the van, and I think it's quite an interesting, maybe it's not, but it feels like quite an interesting setting. So yes, this is my kitchen. I have a cup of tea here in my, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, knitting keeps me from unravelling mug, and I love, my coaster says, "You're a long time deed," which I think is a good motto to live by. That's how I'm getting through van life. You're a long time deed. So I have my laptop here because if you've been here before, you know that I suffered a stroke a couple of years back, and my memory is just shot. And I blame it on stroke, but that might be complete stroke bias, and I might have always been like this, but I don't know because I can't remember. So I blame it on the stroke anyway. Things have changed a little bit. It's because I spilled my tea all over my table. So yeah, I will keep the van life stuff and the kind of more personal stuff to the end of the video, because I know that it's not for everyone. No, some people don't really care about living in a van. I didn't really until I lived in one. But if you're here for just the kind of knitting and the crafting, then we will just get that done, and then you can call it a day if you don't really care about the other stuff, and I don't blame you for that. So what I'm wearing today is, I have on, I tend to just err towards being cold all the time these days. My first winter in the van has been freezing, and we had that storm a couple of weeks ago, which was pretty scary. But so I tend to just like wear a lot of jumper dresses. So this is just ready to wear, really cheap, can throw it on, washes really easily, so that's not hand knitted. But this is a garment that I'm quite proud of, because I am not a massive crocheter. I only learned a couple of years back, and I'd only really done a bit of amigurumi for my nephews and things, and not really much else. This was my first crocheted garment, and it is the really popular Granny Hexie cardigan by, now here we go, Craft in a Cuppa. It's you've probably heard of it, but it's a YouTube tutorial, so free pattern if you just follow the YouTube. I think you can buy the pattern as well. I didn't, I just followed the tutorial because I really needed handheld on this one. I'd never, as I say, crocheted a full garment before, but I crocheted it. You'll probably have seen, the light is terrible in here, you'll probably have seen lots of really beautiful bright ones, and I kind of wanted to do that, but I needed it to be quite practical so that I could wear it to work, and yeah, over anything really. So I just did it on I had some leftover paint box decay, and just in black from I don't know what, and I thought this would be a good thing to try. And it's the kind of pattern that it's just made by measurement, so you can make it in anything. And this was the anything that I had at the time. so I just followed the tutorial. It has kind of big balloon sleeves, which, there we go, that's better, which is covered in fluff. Sorry about that. It gets worn a lot, and it has these really tight ribbed cuff, and I'm laughing about it being really tight because I don't think it's meant to be as tight as I made it. It was my first time trying rib in crochet, and I'm a tight knitter and I'm quite a tight crocheter as well, and when I tried it on I didn't think that I was going to be able to wear it because it was cutting off the circulation, but it's kind of slackened over time and wash, and it's fine now. It doesn't even leave a mark anymore when I wear it. But yeah, this is really love this. I throw it on over everything. I really enjoy it, and as with everything, I have big plans to make another one, but I tend to be a one and done with a lot of patterns because I feel like there's so many patterns out there, and you know, I want to try them all. But I think in fact there's one here, I think, or two that I've made two of, so I've just made myself a liar. Yeah, but I do want to do this again, but it did take me a while because I'm quite a slow crocheter. I don't think I will be doing the standard format of like whips, finished objects, whips. I don't even know the standard format, so I'm not going to be doing that. I just have a pile of stuff here that I have either kicking about the van or that I have been working on in the van. A lot of the stuff that I have made in between the last time, when was the last time I podcasted? Probably about over a year ago. Yeah, I was still in the house, and so a lot of the stuff that I've made in between there have either gone to the people that they were intended for, or they're in storage, because the van it's just a standard like 5 metre long van. It has a decent amount of storage for one person, so it's just me and the dog that live in here. The dog is cuddled up in a corner at the minute. She has taken to van life so well. She absolutely loves it. She loves that wherever we are in the van, we are never far from our bed, which is our favourite place. So she's really taken to it. I don't know how she's going to react when we finally move back into the house, but she's enjoying it for the minute. But yeah, the van has a lot of storage kind of in the what you call the kind of garage, which is this bed's fixed and it's a full-size double, and underneath that, from the back in the van, there's masses of space. It's got a lot of the electrics and the gas and all that stuff in it, but it's also got quite a lot of storage room. But I didn't want to put lots of my knits in there because the van gets really damp, and I don't want to ruin them. So I just kind of had to have the stuff that were really easily accessible in the storage unit, or I've been working on, and I'll just kind of grab one and tell you about it in as much detail as I can remember. And we'll just do that, if that's all right. The one that I've been working on for the last few months, well, month and a half, well, also, you know, if I just kept apologising for things, we'd be here all day, but everything is really wrinkled because it has it's been living in a little kind of cube, storage cube. So this is a gift knit for my sister. It's her birthday next week, and I've just finished it. Donna, if you're watching, turn off. I don't want to spoil the surprise, but it's not really a surprise because every year we go to the big craft fair in Glasgow, and my sister comes, my mum comes, and my sister always picks yarn, buys it, and then says, "Go and knit me a jumper, go and knit me a cardigan." So I've been doing this for a couple of years. And it's a really nice way to make something for her that I know she'll like. So she picked this really bright, well, she loves colour. She's very knitworthy. She wears everything that I make for her. Our whole family do. So I do love knitting for her, but this is a bit of a labour of love. And I picked the pattern, so it's not my sister's fault at all. This is the, give me a second, button side sweater, I think. Yeah, the button side sweater by Jennifer Dessau. It is in a book, a short row book. I can't remember the name of it, but I got it from the Knitter magazine issue 115. And what I love about it is that I'm not great with short rows, and I thought this would be a really good way of getting good at short rows while knitting something that is, you know, a present for someone. So it has these lovely kind of curved edges at the bottom, which is all done with short row shaping, and it has buttons up it's going to be really hard to show you stuff. It's such a small space. I think it's kind of a 6 feet width that I've got, so I'm trying to fit into that, but it has buttons up both sides, and these are functional buttons, so it does open at both sides, and I just put little brown kind of marbled buttons on it. It has short row shaping through the front shoulders and the back shoulders. The sleeve caps are done in a really, really interesting way, so I'd never done it before. So you pick up the stitches for the sleeves and then you work short rows to make like a little cap to shape the shoulder, and then knit down from there. So it's really interesting, and it's kept me really involved in it and really engaged in it. I changed the neckband because it was meant to be a garter neckband, and I don't tend to like garter that much, so I just did a rib neckband, and there is this lovely pattern down the side. It's kind of a half garter. I don't know if you can see that there, and that's all knitted as you work it, and then you stop, you do the short row shaping. I'm making a hash of showing you this. You do the short row shaping at the bottom to make that curve, and then you knit the band and knit two together here to join it on, which is like, so you make it all in the one piece, and it's absolutely beautiful. But I don't like how much it flips out at the bottom, that band. I think that once it's on, my mum tried it on, I'm a different size from my sister, so my mum tried it on, and when she had it on, it sits really nicely, but when you're showing it, when it's on a hanger, it just it flips out a lot, and I know it's because you do it all on I think the pattern says 3.5s or 3.75mm needles. I'm a really tight knitter, so I always go up a size or 2 sizes, but it's all done in the one needle size, so the bottom bit is obviously going to just, it's a bit gartery, so it's obviously going to be a bit bigger. So when I'm showing you things, I won't be talking, so that anyone that's lip reading can lip read. But you can see there. So I haven't blocked it. It's 100% acrylic because I never encourage my sister to buy pure wool, because she has 2 boys, she has loads of washings to do. I'm not going to give her a hand wash project, a hand wash jumper. So it is 100% acrylic, so I might try and steam block it just really gently to try and flatten that out a bit, but I know that my sister will love it anyway. I had real problems. I had something that has never happened to me before. I've been knitting for what? I started knitting when I was 4 or 5, so I've been knitting for 40 years. My gauge has always been the same. I've always been a tight knitter. It's, I'm pretty consistent whether I'm knitting flat or knitting in the round. And with the sleeves, I made one sleeve and then I went straight on to the next sleeve, so I can't blame it on the fact that I've taken time in between it, and maybe my mood's changed, my tension's changed. Not this much. So this sleeve here, knit on 4mm, 110 rows, rounds, and then 20 rounds of rib in the same 4mm needles. This sleeve here, 110 rounds. I knitted the cuff on 4mm needles. It was wildly too big. The sleeves, one sleeve is maybe about 2 centimetres wider than the other one. And I couldn't face taking it all back. So I'm just really hoping that my sister has one fat arm. Yeah, I don't know. So I took the cuff back and I did it on 3.5s so that it matches now, but the sleeve just, yeah, you can't really see it, but it is quite a bit wider, even though I did nothing differently, and I am baffled. Exactly the same part of the yarn. Some of this yarn is a bit thick. It is King Cole Curiosity DK. I even checked to see if they did an Aran version, and maybe I'd picked up an Aran ball, but they don't, so I absolutely have no idea what I've done there. I only keep one set of needles normally in the van, so I only had the 4mm needles, so I couldn't have accidentally switched. I just don't know what I've done. But anyway, I quite like how it is now. I think my sister will like it. Either way, it's getting posted off tomorrow, and I am never thinking about this jumper ever again. Nothing wrong with the pattern. Taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about short rows and shaping that I didn't really realise that you could do. Also taught me that I don't want to do it again. So that's that one. This is the Midsummer Tea by Caitlin Hunter, or I think it's Boylan Knitworks. I love this little pattern. So I've knitted two of these. This is one that I was saying was going to make a liar out of me. So I've knitted two of these, and both were knitted in scraps. This is James C. Brett Marble Chunky, and I love this yarn. I love the colours of it. I love how it feels. I just love how it knits up, and it's super quick to knit anything because it is. So, sorry, the lighting in here is shocking. I look film noir. But yeah, so it is very cropped. I am a small person anyway. I am only 5 feet. Not only 5 feet, I'm a full 5 feet. And I am not showing this well. There. So I had about, I think, 3/4 of a ball of this left. I had made a jumper for one of my friend's daughters with it, and I had, you know, I think it was about 3/4 of a ball left. So I knitted the extra small. I think it's meant to have some positive ease. It doesn't on me. It's I've just knitted the kind of a very small version, and I just intended to wear it as I do wear it with just high-waisted skirts and things. And it's really lovely, really soft. It's washed and worn plenty of times really well. I think it's sorry, people walking by the van here. I think it's acrylic. I'm pretty sure it is. I can't remember the colourway of this, and I won't be able to look it up or anything, but they're all, I mean, you can look at them and they're pretty different colours, so you can usually just figure out what one it is. If you want to know specifically, just let me know, and I'll stick it in the comments. So I did this on 6mm and 8mm needles. It is knitted bottom up. There's a split. There's a split hem. So you knit the, what do you call that? Hem. You knit the hem on both sides first flat, and then you join them and knit it in the round. Split for sleeves. There's some short row shaping through the shoulders. I just did the short sleeve. There's a version that you can just put rib on it. I mean, you can just do that anyway, but you know what I mean. And there is a long sleeve version, which my mum's actually knitting it at the moment. I tend to just wear this, as I say, just with high-waisted skirts or shorts or whatever. And I did make, if I can find it, I don't even know if I've got it in the van. Yeah, it's inside out. Told you this was going to be rough and ready, didn't I? Oh, this one I actually did just the cuff, the rib on the sleeve. I think I might have done actually two rounds, and then realised that I was quickly running out of yarn. Again, this was, I love these colours. This was James C. Brett Marble Chunky, exactly the same as that, 6s and 8mm, knitted the same way, obviously. I think it took me like 3 days or something, and I don't get a lot in it in time. You know, I work pretty much full time. I've got several jobs, so. And did I mention I live in a van? I live in a van. So, but it's a very, very quick knit, and I love this. I love these colours. I love it. This was leftover yarn from, I knitted my brother-in-law a tamarack cardigan by, I want to say Jared Flood. I think that's who it's by. If I can get a photo of my brother-in-law's wearing his cardigan, I will put it in. But he bloody loves this thing. Like, I don't think I've ever knitted anything that someone has loved so much or worn so much. They live down in England, and anytime I visit him, maybe he just does it for me to make me feel good, but anytime I'm visiting, he's got it on, he wears it to his work. Like, he really genuinely loves it, and that was a labour of love, because he's, I don't know, 6'3", 6'4", really long line cardigan, but it just brings me joy every time I see him wearing it. And I think that's one of the really amazing things about knitting. It's not just, I love the process, I'm a process knitter, but to see someone else wearing something with such joy that you've made just, yeah, fills my heart. But is there anything else? I'm going to just check my notes about this, because I do tend to forget stuff, as I said. Yeah, I didn't swatch. I've written that I didn't swatch, but I don't know why I've highlighted that, because I never swatch. Unless it's for somebody else, I will swatch. Sometimes I didn't swatch for my sister's jumper, because one, I'm a lazy sod, and two, I have a bit of a knitting philosophy, and I know I got it from my mum, because she says it all the time, of it'll fit somebody. We're all different sizes. I'll knit it, I'll enjoy the process of knitting it. If it doesn't fit me, it'll fit someone else. I will find someone that it fits, and that for me is more joyful than knitting a gauge swatch. And that's no judgment. If you do it, well done you. I'm really pleased for you, and I absolutely guarantee that your knitwear turns out better than mine, but I just can't bring myself to do it. So yeah, this was it'll fit somebody, and luckily it fits me. Alright. Right. Oh yeah, it says that I've written that it recommends a tubular bind off. I didn't do that. I just bound it off normally in rib, and it fits fine. Oh, this is going to be really hard to show, I think, because it's just black. Right, I'll hold it up in front of me, but I won't talk while I'm doing it. This was an experimental knit, again, from this paint box. I don't know how I ended up with so much black paint box DK. It's just 100% acrylic. I don't know if somebody gave me it, or maybe, I don't know, maybe there was a sale. There's always a sale, isn't there? And I got it from Lovecraft, and I just wanted to try and knit a skirt, but I wanted something a wee bit different, and decided to do a loopy skirt. So this is loop stitch, all this panel here, all these panels are loop stitch. The bottom, so I just measured my widest part, measured my narrowest part, did some maths. It's not an exact science, just did some knitting maths, you know, the kind of maths that you're like, aye, I'll put a bit of rib in there. Give me some leeway, and cast it on, and then halfway up the first looped panel, which is this bit here, realised that it didn't have any give, didn't have any stretch in it, because I was doing loop stitch knit, loop stitch knit idea. So I took it all back and did it in rib, so it's loop stitch and then a purl for every, and then every row in between is knit one, purl one, and I've done that for, I don't know, 12 rows, 14 rows, something like that. I don't even think they're even, the panels, I don't know if you can see. And then I've done a panel of just rib. Oh my word, this lighting is massively changing. I'm sorry if that's really distracting. I'm also sorry if this is really distracting. There's just not much I can do about it, and I really just wanted to film something, so I'm hoping that you'll forgive me a lot on this one. So yeah, so I done these panels, just kept trying it on until I got to near the top. Then I did a big rib panel here, and this at the top, I went down a needle size. So I think I knitted it mostly on 4s, 4mm. I went down a needle size probably to 3.5. This is very specific information that I'm giving you. I can check it. Yeah, went down to 3.5s and did a folded over waistband. So knitted it until it was half, it was the length that I wanted it, and then just purled a row, did the other half and turned it over, put elastic inside, so it's got broad elastic in there, otherwise it would just have bagged and sagged. So bagged and sagged, I don't know. So I've got broad elastic in there, and then I just sewed it down on the inside, and I wear this all the time and it's holding up really well. I don't know if it's nice. I like it. It's a bit silly. It's maybe a bit 80s, but I'm an 80s child, so that's not a bad thing. And I just like having things that other people aren't going to be wearing, even if they are slightly ridiculous. And I wore this to a day that I met other knitters, and yeah, it got a bit of kudos, even not, if not for the style, but for the challenge of making it. And as I say, I wear it a lot and get a lot of, if not complimentary glances. What else do we have? Oh, this one is quite, I'm showing you a lot of black. A lot of my knitting is quite, apart from that one, it's quite practical, so it's just stuff that I need in my wardrobe, stuff that I want to wear day to day. It's not, it has to kind of fit into, I have quite, not professional job that I need to turn up to people's offices and things, and I need to look like I've not just stepped out of a van. So I try and make things that I can wear and look a bit put together. This looks tiny when I look at it, but this is the first memory blank. It's gone. The Cindy top. Can't remember who it's by. This is the Cindy top by Joanna Baum, Bohme. Joanna Baum. I started this a while back. I saw it on, somebody else was knitting it. That's a stupid thing to say. Somebody else is always knitting something. But it was being knitted and I saw it. And it's this lovely little, really hard to show you vest top. And it's still on cables and pins at the minute, but it has this tie detail at the bottom. I'll put a photo in of what it actually looks like when somebody's done it properly. But so it has this really nice tie detail at the bottom. So you make those tires, and what has really halted me in my progress on this is that it's finished with an I-cord edge all the way around. So around the neck, around both, because it's sleeveless, so around both edges, or sleeve edges, and around the bottom, and all the way around this tie. And I'm frightened of it. I'm not frightened of I-cord edging, but I've never been really successful with doing it. And this seems like a lot. I don't know why I decided to do this top. This seems like a lot of I-cord edging to be doing not well. And it kind of makes this top, it's really important for the style of it, because that tire looks, I can see it looks absolutely awful at the minute without the I-cord, and there's no way of doing ribs, there's no way, I need to just do the bloody I-cord is what I need to do. So this has been on hold for a while, but I've brought it into the van with the intention of getting it done before spring. I think that's quite a good goal. It's not saying I'm going to get it done next week, because I won't. The I-cord will take me a while, and I'm guessing that if anybody's got any tips on I-cord edging, I've looked at lots of tutorials, and I'm not a very visual learner. I like words, I learn from it. I find visuals quite difficult to pick up a technique from. So I'm trying to find a good written instruction for I-cord edging, because it's just not making that much sense to me at the minute. But anyway, so that is knitted from, it looks like it's the same as everything else that I've knitted, but it's Debbie Bliss Rialto. Debbie Bliss Rialto, yeah, DK. It's meant for a 4-ply weight, I think, this pattern. So I think my reasoning was that I had the DK, and it's quite a fine DK, and as I've said 3 million times, I'm a tight knitter. So I think I just used the given needle size with the DK. I don't know what my thought process was there, and I just knitted the smallest size. I'm always one for just finagling patterns to make it work with what I have. I don't have a massive yarn stash, particularly anymore. The van has, as I say, a decent amount of storage space, but it's a van, it's not a house. And crafters will get this, but under the seat that I'm sitting on, it's really well put together. It was, it's not an actual camper van, it was a works van that the joiner who used it converted it, and he's done a beautiful conversion. And if you're interested in seeing it, let me know, and I will do a bit of a brief van tour at some point. But under where I'm sitting, there is storage space for, it had a fridge in it that was connected to, there's a kind of 12-volt plug under here, and I didn't use it as much. Like, I'm not a big foodie, I don't really care, I'll just, I just get by on like biscuits and bread, it's fine. So I took the fridge out and put it in storage and used the fridge space for my wool. Yeah, because, and people have said to me, like, food is important, Paula, but wool, yarn is important. Like, why do they not get that I need storage space for my needles, for my yarn, for my crochet hooks, for my projects, so yeah, so this space underneath me, it has a small cool box in it now because Agatha, my dog's food, needs to be in it. It doesn't run as much electricity because electricity is always a problem. So I feel like that's a good compromise, and the rest is just used up for for my craft projects. Anyway, I don't know why I started telling you that. Anyway, so yes, this is hopefully going to be done in the next couple of months. I do really want to wear it. It is lovely. I really like the pattern. So it's really you can tell, can't you? It's really bothering me that I can't remember where I was going by telling you about my storage space. Yeah, so that's kind of that one. It's knit just as a tops knit, really, and it's a lovely pattern, and I do really, really want to get it finished. What have I not shown you? This is a very, very wrinkled shawl. I need to knit different colours, don't I? I have lots of bright colours here, but I just seem to be showing you all the black stuff first. This is the Hitchhiker shawl. And it is by Martina Behm, B-E-H-M. And this is, it's a paid for pattern, but it's a beautiful pattern. It's quite a simple, I think it's an 8-row repeat to make these little steps. You start here and get bigger and make these lovely steps. I think there's a couple of different patterns that do this, but I really like this one. I've maybe made 3 of them, and you can make them, obviously it's a shawl, you can make them in any weight of yarn. I've made a DK version for my sister, my mum's made a couple. There's no steps on this side, it's just made, so it's kind of asymmetrical, which I love. and it's just one skein, or in my case one ball of sock yarn. I wear it a lot. It goes with everything and nothing at the same time. This is, as I say, this is a sock yarn. I don't know if you can see, it has little nets through it. I don't know if that's showing up very well, but it has coloured little nets through it. It is, obviously it's a 4-ply, it's a sock yarn. It is, I don't have it written down. I have no idea. I have no idea what yarn this is. I got it online, but it's I'll put it in here if I can find out what it is. But I love this. I wanted a black shawl that, again, can wear it to work, can wear with anything, boring. But it's called the hitchhiker shawl because if you knit it in the same yarn as the designer knitted it, you get 42 of the little steps. And in Hitchhiker's Guide for the Galaxy, 42 is the answer. So that's why it's called that. But I really like this pattern. As I say, I've knitted a couple of them, and we'll probably knit a couple more because they're really mindless, mindful, whatever you want to call it. And it's just back and forward. There's a bit of stuff to do. It's garter. So again, really easy. And there's not much more to say about that, is there? I feel like I don't know if I'm ripping through these or if I'm waffling. It's a bit of both, I think. And I don't intend to do any editing, as I said, because of the electricity situation. So I need to just kind of get this, and the Wi-Fi situation. So I need to just kind of get this up as is. So I'm really sorry if you see me mopping up my tea spills, or you hear me slurping, which I know a lot of people hate. But what can I do, people? What can I do? What do I have? So this one is, this is bright. This will probably blow out all the lighting and make it look worse than it is. This is another pattern from a magazine. I like knitting from magazine patterns. I enjoy that sometimes they challenge you in terms of, they are more like the kind of a basic patterns that you used to get when I was young, when I started knitting, and the patterns that my mum's got, kind of vintage patterns and things, that are just like, yeah, knit until this, do some decreases. You know, they're I like having that choice of, right, what decreases do I want to do, or, and I know you can just change it up, but I tend to, when I get a pattern that is really explanatory, you know, that tells you the ins and outs, I tend to just follow it. Whereas when I get a pattern that's a bit more like loosey-goosey, a bit more, yeah, decrease it a couple of times, make sure you've got this amount of stitches at the end, it gives you a bit more freedom to do, well, to make a complete mess of it, I guess. But so I do like knitting from magazines, and my lovely sister and brother-in-law get me a subscription to Simply Knitting every month as a birthday present and Christmas present every year, because I don't buy it myself, and I just rip out the patterns that I'm going to use, and it's easier to store them because I don't have a printer or anything anymore to like print out PDF patterns and things. So anyway, shut up Paula. This is the Golden Hour cardigan by Claire King. It was in issue 258 of Simply Knitting, which was quite recently. It was just the back end of last year, and it's a super chunky cardigan. So that is the back, and one of the fronts is, so it's still held on a pin. So it's knitted all together, the fronts and backs, the fronts and back are all knitted together to start. And then you obviously split for the sleeves and knit them in separate pieces. And I stopped knitting this because I wasn't getting enough work done on my sister's birthday present jumper, because I just wanted to knit this. This is what, I don't know, 8 hours of knitting, spread over a couple of days obviously, and it just knits up so beautifully quickly. It's just like you have a ball of yarn, then you have a cardigan, and I love projects like that, just for like a bit of a palette cleanser. Everything else is on like 4mm, 3.5. So I've got a pair of socks in the go. I'm not going to show you them. Maybe show you them next time because I've not really been working on them. Not a massive sock knitter. But everything else is kind of a DK or 4-ply fingering weight. This is just a beautiful change, and as soon as I saw it, and I think it's knitted up in like a mustardy yellow colour in the sample in the magazine, and I was like, that is for me. I'm knitting 44,000 of these. I'll probably knit 2. But the yarn is, honestly, my brain. What is happening with my brain? It's not even the van. It's anyway. It is Yarn Smiths. Of course it is. It's Yarn Smiths. I love Yarn Smiths yarn. If you haven't tried it yet, it's from my warehouse. Of course I've tried it, and they just have lots of different, sorry for the cracking needles, lots of different weights and just beautiful colours. This is their Create Super Chunky, and the colour is Pink Berry, which I mean, that is pretty much how bright it is. It is absolutely gorgeous. It will go with nothing, and I bloody love that. I think this was £2.30, £2.20 a ball, I think, which is amazing for Super Chunky, and I needed 8 balls, so what's that, 17 something for a cardigan, which is just great value, I think. And I don't mind knitting, and I know people have problems knitting in acrylic or knitting in whatever. I think I've said this before, but I have cardigans that I have had since I was 14, 15 that I still wear in acrylic. And while I know that the processes and everything for acrylic yarn are really damaging, and you know, wool is obviously better for the environment, I've had 30 years wear out of some of my cardigans, and for me that's value for money, and that's it. Kind of, in some way, doesn't justify it, because I'm not trying to justify it, but in some way makes it all right. Sorry, I'm shaking the camera. Because 30 years out of a cardigan, that's not bad going, and there's nothing wrong with them. I still wear them, and I will continue to wear them. So yeah, this is, is this acrylic? Am I just talking about acrylic and it's not actually acrylic? I don't have it written down. But for £2.20 a ball, you'd think it was acrylic, wouldn't you? I don't know. But I'm loving knitting this. And now that I finished my sister's jumper this morning, so now I am getting back to this, and this will probably be what I'm wearing for the next video, because I just love it so much. So I've still to join it up, do the collar, the button band. I don't think it has buttons on it, but I might put buttons on it because I quite like buttons, and the sleeves. But honestly, it's going to take me a couple of days at the most to finish that, and I will be casting on another one of these because I absolutely love this. Oh, sorry, the pattern, it is in a kind of a broken rib kind of panels. That doesn't make sense. So a couple of knits, a couple of purls, and then every other row is just knitted or purled. I think you do the purls. I love purling. I don't have a problem with it. I think it gets a bad press. I think it just needs a better PR machine around it. I do enjoy it. I enjoy purling. Happy to do flat knitting. Again, it's maybe just how I like, because that's how I learned a lot of the stuff that I knitted when I was younger was flat knitting, and I still really enjoy it, and I love seaming up. So I don't know where I'm going with that. Yeah, there's lots of colours of this yarn. I'm knitting this on 12mm, and I think 10s for the cuffs and hem bands. And it's, I thought at first I wasn't sure if I would like the fabric on 12mm needles, because I think it's recommended. I think it's 10mm recommended for this, but I'm really enjoying how it's coming out. So that's that one. And have I got anything else on the needles at the minute that is actually getting worked on? Oh yeah, this. Oh, I don't know how this is going to come out of here. This has been in here for a while. This is the Longitude tee. Is this inside out? Yeah. I'll put a photo up because I have the pattern printed, but it's black and white, so it's not really going to be of use to anybody. And I started this a wee while ago, again before I started that jumper, the short row one, and before I started the chunky cardigan, which I just realised, I don't think I told you who designed that cardigan. Claire King. The Golden Hour cardigan, the super chunky one, is by Claire King. I think I told you who that it was in a magazine, but I didn't tell you who it was by. But there we go. Full credit to the designer. I absolutely love that pattern. This is the Longitude tee by Adrienne Larson. Sorry, I remember nothing. This is a paid for pattern, but you can get it free, and I got it free on the Laughing Hens website. Laughing Hens is a yarn shop, and I downloaded this free. I don't know if it's still on there. I think it might be, but I downloaded it maybe 2 years ago, and I wanted something colour work, but I'm not a massive fan of stranded colour work. I like intarsia. This here, my cushion is intarsia. I did that about 10 years ago or something, before I actually knew that I would one day be living in a van. And when I was leaving the house, I just thought this is perfect to take into the van with me. So yeah, I think it's a King Cole pattern. I don't know if you can still get it. It was a long time ago. It's a chunky pattern, and I knitted it in. Why is it I can remember things from 10 years ago and I can't remember these patterns that I'm actually knitting now? This I knitted in the Women's Institute Soft and Chunky wool, which you can get in the UK from Hobbycraft. I don't know if they stock it anywhere else, but Hobbycraft do it. And I think this was one of my first intarsia projects, and I think it turned out pretty well. There's no holes, and I still use it. And the back's just I don't know if you were meant to make it a flap so you could take the cushion out, but I just made the faux flap and sewed it down because I don't care about washing cushions. Anyway, sidetracked. So yeah, I'm not a massive fan of stranded colour work. My tension's really tight, as I told you, and I always have real problems with it. It's one of my intentions this year is to try and get a bit better at it, because I love the look of it. I just don't love the look of it when I do it. It's always either really puckered and blocking doesn't seem to. I've always ripped out everything that I've made, I think, in stranded colour work. So anyway, this is just slip stitches. So I like that it looks quite complex. Not complex, you're a knitter, you know it's not complex, but it looks quite detailed, but it's actually just 2 yarns and slip stitches. So again, this is Yarn Smiths. This is their merino sock 4-ply, obviously 4-ply sock, and I've got one of the solids. I think this is it Heather? I'm going to have to check that, I'm sorry. Talk among yourselves. Oh no, this is dark grape in the merino, Yarn Smiths merino sock. And the one that I'm using, I don't know if that's shown up. Is that a bit better? So that is their Prince, P-R-I-N-T-S, not Prince, in the colour Thistle. and I just kind of picked them because they have similar tones. I can't really see it, but they do. This purple in here is very similar. And it's working up really nicely, knitted in the round. I've put stitch markers in just to stop me forgetting. The first couple of rounds I was forgetting to do the slips, and then was having to pick it back down and do it all back up. So I put markers in just for my messy brain to remember where to do them. So these vertical lines go all the way up, and there's some shaping in the waist, but I'm not doing the shaping because I wanted something a bit boxier. I tend to wear things a bit boxier, maybe over a dress or whatever, and I kind of wanted the style of that, the style of this to be like that. So yeah, I'm not very far into it, but it's really lovely to knit. It is cover row repeat, and as I say, it's not complex, but it looks complex, and I can just do it while watching the telly or whatever. I don't know why I say that, I don't watch a lot of telly, but you could do it while you're watching the telly, I guess, is what I'm saying. So I think that's everything that I have to show knitting wise or crochet wise. I have been doing a cross stitch, but it's in the storage underneath the seat and I'm sitting on it, so you don't want to watch me try and find that, but I will show it next time. It's just a really small one, but it's nice to do, and the van lighting's quite difficult at times, as you can tell, so sometimes there's projects that I just can't work on in the van, and I have to just have a bit of a range of different things that I can work on. So I like to have a knitting project, a crochet project, and something maybe cross stitch or macrame or something, just so that there is always something that I can be working on. I do have a crochet project that I am about to start. I guess I could show you the yarn for that. It's not very exciting, but well, I think it's exciting. The van is not that big, and I still misplace things in it. So I got these Granny Square card deck by Claire Montgomery, and I'm trying to improve my crochet because particularly crocheting from charts, I really struggle with crocheting from charts, and I also struggle with crochet instructions, which is not a good combination, is it? So because I just feel like sometimes the instructions, because I'm not competent crocheter, I'm not an experienced crocheter, let's put it that way, so I struggle at times to understand where a stitch is meant to go, or you know, what part, if I'm putting it in the space or whatever. So somebody had recommended trying to learn to read charts, because it's really obvious where the stitch is meant to go and where the round ends and things like that. So I got these because they are just individual little cards with the charts on the back of them, and there's 50, and I plan to do 2 of each and sew them together into a big blanket for maybe my sister, I don't know. But I just bought some, again, just acrylic. It's Wendy Supreme DK acrylic. It was £2.25 a ball, because I don't know how this is going to go. So, and again, you know, I'm in a financial crisis. I'm lucky that I get to get any wool, and I only buy wool now for specific projects, or, you know, if people give me vouchers or money specifically for yarn. I just can't justify any other way of buying yarn, but I also know that I really need it. I really need to craft for my mental health, and particularly at this time of year, it's winter in where I am, and things are quite difficult, and yeah, I need some joy. So I bought myself 6 balls in these colours. This will be a miracle if this actually works, won't it? It's not going to. There. Just not neutral, but kind of a greys with a couple of kind of little drops of colour, and I intend to just start at number 1 on the card deck and work my way through and see if I can master chart reading and granny squares in the process. So I'll keep you up to date with that. I will hopefully be starting that this week. Today is the 1st of February, so it's Saturday the 1st of February, only time that I could get to film because I work all week and mostly at the weekends as well, but I'm hoping to try and keep this to fortnightly, but I don't know where I'll be in a fortnight, just quite literally. Like, I don't know where I'll be parked in a fortnight. I don't know if I'll be able to film in a fortnight, but I'm going to try. I know it's a bit haphazard, and I'm not going to keep apologising for that because my life is haphazard, and you'll understand that if you have had periods in your life that things aren't going so well. So I guess I'll stop the knitting content, the craft content there, and if you want to abandon ship, I will absolutely appreciate that, and thank you for watching this far, and hopefully I'll see you again in the future. But for anyone that does want to stay and hear about van life, it is difficult, it's hard going. It's me and the dog, as I said, and she's loving it, she's quite happy. There's nothing, like, it's not cruel in any way to her. She gets plenty of time outside, she's doing great, and she just loves being this close to me at all times, except when I'm at work, when she goes to my mum and dad's house. So she has, you might notice, I don't know if you can see it, but I have like a guardrail here that I flip up at night, because this is our bed, and she is a very fragile little dog. She has brittle bones, and she has had 5 breaks of her legs in the past, hopefully no more. So I have a guardrail so that she can get up and walk about the bed at night, and I don't have to panic that cause it's quite a big drop to the cushion here. Yeah, so last time I was around here, I was in my house. My husband had just left. I was recovering from a stroke, and then a few months later the house was so badly flooded. A pipe froze and then burst and took out 4 ceilings, 4 floors, absolutely awful. I managed to live in it for about maybe 6 months in the state that it was in, just going through the insurance process to try and get it fixed, and eventually realised that it was just really bad for my health. You know, I was still recovering from, I have a long-term health condition now because of the stroke, and I just couldn't put up with it anymore, and it's really difficult to get a short-term rental with a dog, and I was not leaving her with anyone else. So I got myself a van. Yeah, made a big decision, and now we live in the van, and I've been living in the van since October, so we're 3 months in. Probably wasn't the best time to move into a van for the first time in the Scottish winter, and there's been some really cold days when there was ice on the inside of the windows, and the battery just completely died. Had to get that replaced. For about a month I didn't realise that the van was trying to poison me. The exhaust had a crack in it and I didn't know. It's a diesel van, and the diesel fumes were just pumping into the van, and yeah, it feels like the universe is out to get me at the minute. But got that fixed, thankfully, and the van is hopefully quite safe now, and it's tough going. Like, I work every day, and I have to look like, as I say, I don't live in a van for my job, so it takes a lot of shuffling things around, and because every time you want to move the van, which is every day I need to move the van, you have to put everything away. So all of this knitting stuff that I've just brought out will have to all go away, because when you move the van, obviously it would just fly about the van. So everything that is house has to get put in a drawer or in a cupboard. Everything has to be stored. So everything just takes twice as long. Getting ready for work in the morning, things have to come out, things have to go back in. All my clothes are in the boot, so I have to get them up. Anyway, it's a bit of a logistical, I won't say nightmare, it's not a nightmare, it's just a logistical challenge to try and be in the right place, wearing the right thing, looking not dishevelled every day. But it's going okay. The next step is that the house is going up for sale, and then I will hopefully be able to look for something new that's a bit more permanent than living in a van. I'm doing kind of a urban van life rather than the dream van life that you see on like social media and things. There are millions of videos of people doing van life really, really beautifully and really joyfully. That's not how it is for me. I have to stay close to the city because I have to be in work most days. The dog has to be dropped off at my parents' house so that I can go to work, because she can't be left on her own because she's fragile, she has brittle bones. So I have to stay urban, I have to stay on residential streets and things, and that's difficult because you don't want people noticing you. So I have some regular spots that I go back to, but mostly I try and change where I am every night, because I don't want to annoy people having a van, somebody living in a van on their street. That's not nice. So I try and change where I am every night. I do change where I am every night. Some places I'll go back to if they don't have a lot of houses on them or whatever. And I'll just change it up. You have to consider the weather, whether it's, in that bad storm we had, whether it's near trees, you don't want to be near trees, or anything that can fly off and kill the van or me. So yeah, it's a lot more work than it looks. Plus the van is off grid. I don't have electric hookup options in it. I have a solar panel, which is you'll be able to maybe see up there. I don't know if you can see my battery level. So the solar panel I've got decking on the roof, and there's a solar panel, and it charges up, and it also charges up off when I'm driving the van. At the minute it's very short days, obviously winter, so the solar panel's doing well, but I couldn't run like my laptop off it all day to work from home. I can't run a hairdryer or a kettle off it. I've got a gas hob here, so I can cook and things, such as I do. I don't really cook. And I have an inverter, which means that I can run normal household plugs, but again it runs away with my electricity. So it's just a balancing act of, what do I charge today? Do I need heating tonight? Which at the minute is yes. I have a diesel heater, again it runs down the lecky. So it's just a balancing act of, what are my priorities? Where can I charge things? Can I go to somebody's house and beg electricity? My family are brilliant. They charge my stuff. I shower at their house. Their houses I go to my friends and things, but predominantly I stay in the van. I live in the van. At night we're here. We sleep here. We get up here. And that's quite a big lifestyle change. And it's an adventure, but there are times when you're parked somewhere and somebody parks behind you and you're thinking, is this safe, Paula? Really? Is this safe? So far I've only ever moved at night time once, when I felt a bit uncomfortable about just noise and things that were happening outside. Other than that, I've been able to just stay where I've parked up for the night. I take lots of precautions, I park in the direction that I want to leave, and I have a mallet. I don't know if you can see up here, I have a rape alarm. This is my life. But yeah, that's how things are at the minute, and I'm hoping that these videos will be an outlet for me just to share some nice, pleasant knitting, crafting things, and that people will be kind about my situation. If you think unkind things, please don't put them in the comments. It's hard enough. But if you want to know more about the van, more about van life, even just some kind of day in the van life videos, please let me know. Happy to do those, but it will be warts and all, because as I say, there's not much editing getting done here. This video's been quite long, so I will shut up there and stop apologising for things that are out with my control, like this terrible light and how this looks. But I hope you're all well. I hope you all have a bit more stability than I do at the minute, and I wish you all happy crafting and happy days.